Here is your full, emotional, long-format YouTube-ready story based on the title. No headings, just flowing paragraphs with strong hooks, emotional depth, and a smooth pace for a 40-minute narration. Dad, we need to help her, the little girl whispered, tugging on her father's sleeve as the icy wind swept across the street. Her voice trembled, not from the cold, but from the fear in her chest. The veteran father followed her gaze, and what he saw made him stop dead in his tracks. That's when everything changed. And if you stay with this story until the end, you'll understand why what happened next would inspire millions. If you're watching, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and become part of stories that can change hearts. Ethan Graves had seen war, chaos, and darkness. As a former Army medic, he'd stitched up wounds, carried brothers out of danger, and lived with memories he never talked about. But nothing prepared him for his daughter's compassion. 8-year-old Lily, with bright eyes and a heart too big for her tiny body, noticed things Ethan often overlooked. On this winter evening, as they walked home from her school play, she noticed a woman curled up beside a bus stop bench, shivering violently, clutching a torn backpack as though it were the last thing she owned. Ethan didn't want to get involved. Not because he didn't care, but because every time he tried to help someone, he feared reliving the past he was still trying to escape. Yet Lily's eyes, those eyes were the same ones he saw on the battlefield. The eyes of people who needed someone, anyone, to show up for them. Dad, she's crying, Lily whispered again. The woman's fingers were purple from the cold. Her hair was soaked from the freezing drizzle. She looked no older than her mid-20s, lost and terrified. Ethan hesitated, but Lily stepped forward first. Miss, are you okay? She asked. The woman startled, wiping her face quickly as though trying to hide her tears. I'm fine, she lied, forcing a smile that broke halfway. Ethan recognized that look, someone trying to be strong even when their world was falling apart. Ma'am, he said gently, do you need help? That was all it took. She collapsed into tears, apologizing over and over. Her name was Harper. She'd moved to town for a job that didn't work out. Her landlord threw her out. She had no family left, no friends, no money, and no place to go. Her last hope was getting a bus to the next city where she heard there might be a shelter, but the bus didn't run again until morning. She had planned to spend the night outside. Ethan's heart clenched. He remembered too well what hopelessness felt like. After returning home from service, he had spent months living in his truck, invisible to the world, until someone showed him kindness. Lily wiped Harper's tears with her mitten. Dad can help. Right, Daddy. And suddenly, Ethan knew he had no choice. Not because he was obligated, because he wanted to. Because helping her felt like helping the version of himself he once wished someone had noticed sooner. He took Harper to a diner first, buying her a hot meal. The steam rising from the soup seemed to revive her soul. Lily chatted non-stop, making Harper laugh for the first time in days. The sound softened something inside Ethan. He hadn't heard genuine laughter from a stranger in a long time. When they reached Ethan's home, Harper froze. I don't want to be a burden. You've already done too much. Ethan shook his head. You're not a burden. You're human. That's enough. He gave her the guest room, extra clothes belonging to his late sister, and a warm blanket that once comforted him through nightmares. Harper couldn't stop thanking him, but Ethan kept telling her the same thing. Rest. Tomorrow we'll figure things out. The next morning, Harper insisted on leaving. Shame weighed on her. I'm just going to cause trouble. People always leave. I don't want Lily to get attached. But Ethan had learned something during the night. Harper wasn't broken, just bruised. And bruised people could still stand tall. He made her breakfast and asked her about her skills, her dreams, her plans. She admitted she once studied nursing but dropped out when life became overwhelming. Hearing this, Ethan's mind started turning. He had been volunteering at a veterans clinic a few times a week. They desperately needed assistance. Maybe a job. Harper gasped. You'd help me get a job. You can help yourself, Ethan said softly. I'm just opening the door. For the first time in years, Harper's eyes filled not with sadness but hope. Over the next weeks, Harper worked at the clinic, proving herself hardworking, gentle, and unbelievably patient with the veterans. Ethan saw her confidence returning, piece by piece. Lily adored her. And soon, their small home didn't feel like three strangers living together, it felt like a family. But life has a way of testing new beginnings. One day, Ethan woke up to find Harper gone. Her room was spotless. Her borrowed clothes folded. A note lay on the table. "Thank you for everything. But you deserve someone who isn't broken. I can't stay. Harper." Ethan felt his chest tighten. Harper didn't understand. Everyone was broken in their own way. That didn't make them unworthy. Lily cried for hours, begging him to find her. Ethan knew he had to try. Using everything he learned as a medic, tracking, observation, calm under pressure, he followed the faint traces Harper left behind. A bus ticket receipt, a conversation Lily remembered, the name of a shelter Harper once mentioned. He found her sitting alone on a park bench 2 towns over, staring at the sky. When she saw him, she panicked. "I'm sorry," she said. "I just didn't want to be a burden anymore." "You're not," Ethan said firmly. "And leaving doesn't make you strong. Staying, letting people care, that takes courage."